tutorial on pitch stacking with Kano. Start against Dash, I brought in 5 defense reactions, hoping he would start with Teklo Pounder. This strategy probably works best against Teklo Pounder, as opposed to shooting the gun off. A lot of times, I think that pressure's a bit much. Let's just begin. I believe he's on the start. So my opening hand has cards I'm pretty sure I would just like to block as much as I wanted to, and when I see this tome and 2 blues and a lesson that actually could be a really good beginning of a pitch stack, um, I just block with a lesson. I don't realize that it was coming in for 6. I just wasn't paying attention, but it's fine. I'm not gonna ask to take it back. He comes in for 4, and I don't want to take too much damage on the first turn, so I block with a blue. So in case he comes in with another hit, I can block most of it. So at this point, he goes to end his turn after playing this item. So I actually get to start my pitch stack here, and what I'm gonna use here is I'll keep track of how many cards I pitched, and then I'll just keep track of how many remaining cards are there. So at this point, I've pitched 2 cards, and I'll make sure that when the pitch stack comes around, I reveal a Blazing Aether. I don't want to banish that. Maybe I can get some damage out of it. Maybe we can even speed this up a little bit. Let's see. And maybe not. A bit of a noob there. Yeah, so this hand is a little strange. But there is a blue, so I know I can get the Tome blue, and Wildfire, and Blazing Aether. So it's like a perfect pitch stack kind of scenario. So I banish a Aether Dart off the top, and I'm just going to attempt to deal some damage. He has Teklo Core and Teklo Pounder, so it's probably better for him to absorb this damage, as he probably won't be resource deprived, but maybe he wants to deal a lot of damage. When I see he takes 2 damage, I just feel like I might as well just try to deal 2 more. I don't want the Blazing Aether to get stuck in my arsenal for a long time, and I'm probably going to be blocking quite a bit throughout the game now, especially when the Teklo Pounder is out, so I don't want the card to get stuck there. I'll just pause it for a second. So I had put, let's go back a little bit. So after he takes the damage, let's see. So I order this so I draw the blue after the Tome blue, and then it doesn't matter because I'm going to banish both of those. So now I have 5 really solid cards at the bottom of my deck. So I've pitched 5. So once I get through the other 47, I'll have my pitch stack ready. I'm not even sure I need anything else. Maybe this Aether Flare could have been useful, but I'm not sure I need to commit that much. So now my goal is to pretty much block as much as I can and bring his life total down while I'm doing that. And hopefully he's not able to pressure me enough. So these attacks are coming in pretty big. Yeah, we'll take a look at this. He's coming for 7, so I'll just, do mostly a full block. I don't really want to give up 3 cards to block 7. So let's see what he's coming in with. And I still have that pitch 5 cards on the bottom. So T-Bone is coming in for 2. I feel like, I think I don't block here because it just seems like maybe not enough damage. Maybe it's a little bit risky here because he probably is going to arsenal card anyway. But I just choose to take 2 damage. maybe I can also deal a little bit more with the Aether Flare. So if he doesn't apply a lot of pressure, I can hit him again. Try to bring him down a little bit. 36 is a lot, even for the pitch stack of Wildfire or Blazing. So maybe I have another Wildfire there. So I think that's, yeah, about 40 damage, I think, with another Wildfire at the end of the game. He comes in for 3, and that's enough to convince me to block. So I actually just end up arsenaling the Aether Flare, which is fine. I could have pitched it to the bottom just to get another strong card, and then I wouldn't need the other Wildfire there, but I choose to arsenal it. I see that I have a Tome. I mean, I have a Phidia here, so this is really good because this way, if I leave a red in my hand, I can Ragamuffins it at the end after I banish the Wildfire and the Blazing Aether, and I can draw the Eye of Ophidia. And then I don't really think I need to pay that much attention to the pitch stack afterwards, so I know I'll get a Wildfire. I'm sorry, I'll get a Tome, draw 2 blues, Wildfire, Blazing, and then swap whatever red card I have in my hand with an Eye. So now I'm just focusing on going back, making sure I block well enough, making sure I bring his life total down, and make sure I keep track of my pitch count as much as I can. So I end up blocking with the lesson, which I don't know if it's a bad play there. I have the Aether Flare in the arsenal, so I know I can deal a little damage. But I do take 2 damage. He's coming in for 4, so it's kind of my thought process here is now it's a good time to sink the Eye to the bottom. That'll bring my pitch count to 6. I draw a Tome, which is cool. I mean, maybe I'll use it to draw some cards and try to accelerate the pitch stack. He's only coming in for 1, so I'm not really feeling like it's worth a block here. And you know, with six cards, it's quite a long ways down. So I draw 2. I try to get through the deck a little bit quicker. This is a cool banish here, so I can hit with the Reverberate for 2 damage. If he doesn't absorb it, I can then flare him for another 3. So it's just a nice way to deal some damage without having to commit much on my side, and I get to keep the arsenal. So, which I couldn't really use anyway because I played the Tome. I'm not sure why he's taking so much damage. It seems a little strange that he's playing such a heavy AB and then he's just taking everything. I don't know. Maybe he really likes the hands that he has. So I did bottom. Let's just go back. Keep track of how many other cards I bottomed. So that was 2 more. So that was 5. The Eye was 6. 7, 8. I think I have kept track of the count, but hopefully I'm able to remember this. So this one's not terribly strong here. It's 4 damage. I don't have much going on in this hand. I could set it up for a nice Aether Spindle turn. That might help accelerate it, but I don't think that there's any need to. I also am seeing the second Wildfire and an Energy Potion, so I think I'll just block with the Spindle. I'm okay with blocking with the Wildfire here as well because I know I'll get to the 3rd one eventually. Hopefully it doesn't come up too soon because then I'll be kind of having to dig quite a bit. I know I have the Eye, So I could potentially do that, but I think when I'm playing the game at this point, I'm not really thinking that far ahead. So yeah, I had the eye, and then I put two blues, and then I could have had the wildfire as the next card. So I could have actually had wildfire, tome, blue, blue, wildfire, blazing, swap the eye, and then get another wildfire. So I could have actually just done the whole thing, but I don't think that was my thought process at the time. And again, I think I said it was 8. Yeah, this I just block with the card. Not sure if he ends his turn. Um, I recall he did end his turn on something later in the game. Okay, yeah, he comes in for 3 again, and I. Oh, okay, so he undid it. Let's see. I probably wasn't even paying attention and didn't notice that. I don't recall if I block here. Okay, so he's still dealing some damage to me, but I think considering how little he's using his arcane barrier, it's not really applying enough pressure. Um, so maybe if I were him, I would be trying to like set up some kind of high octane turn or something. Uh, yeah, then you just ended the turn. So I get to play my potion, and I draw this kind of let's say awkward hand. Um, it's kind of funny if I had thought more about that line with the Eye of Ophidia. I could have got some more. I could have got another draw two out of it as well. Um, but yeah, everything is a little bit easier in hindsight. So he's coming in for 4. You don't really ever want to let this one connect, as it just deals too much damage. Let's see if I can just skip ahead. I know I blocked and undid my block for a second, so I had that initially. Then I undid it, and I think I ended up blocking with the 2 tombs because I wanted to play the Tome of Aetherwind. Yeah, that's me having to walk away from the computer for a minute. So let me just fast forward a little bit. Okay, still waiting for me. That's nice to do. He's patient. Um, yeah, I block with the 2 tomes. Now he's coming in with this harpoon. Um, and yeah, I think I end up just blocking with both because it's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind not taking any damage here. He does have boost, so I might take a hit afterwards. Uh, but we just have to risk that. At least he'll lose his arsenal. I mean, maybe he could get a gunshot off or something. Um, yeah, I mean, he's not doing these things, so maybe he's just a bit inexperienced. Right? I don't play Dash that much, but I'm pretty sure he could have at least loaded the gun and got a shot off. Yeah, so we took 3 damage from the Aether Flare. I really like this potion of Deja Vu because if I lose track of my pitch count, I can kind of compensate for it. It's very easy for me, at least, since I don't have the best memory, so I can kind of come close, and then the Deja Vu will really compensate for that. And of course, if I have like a great hand before the pitch stack comes back, um, that's fine as well. I think I'm still at 8 because I haven't pitched anything. So now I'm just blocking. and he's down to 28, so it's actually fine. Most pitch stack combos can deal 28 pretty easily. Um, let's see what he ends up doing. He's coming in with this payload. It's great. It's 4 damage. I have the sink below, so it doesn't have go again. So I'm fine with just using the sink below here. Maybe it's incorrect, but there's usually no on hit effects other than the combustible courier for dash. I choose not to bottom anything, so my turn's going to be pretty easy. I'll just go ahead and play the potion of Deja Vu and pass. And again, if it's 8 cards, then I have this 36, and I have, you know, what is that? 28 left. So about seven more turns, maybe 8 more turns, if depending on how the turns go, or 6 more turns if I'm able to banish a bunch of things. This hand is actually pretty cool. I could have done some Potion of Deja Vu stuff just to, if you're not familiar with the kind of shenanigans, you can effectively get like a free Kano trigger, sometimes 2, and still be able to block. But again, I think it's a little bit easier to use the Deja Vu on the combo turn. If I can use the tome out of my arsenal, that kind of buys me some extra time. So let's see. I think I would like to use the tome out of my arsenal here. So then I can block on my next turn. I go to 2 on the tunic, and I can arsenal it. And then on the following turn, I can gain some life. I think I'm looking at how many tomes I have left in the deck while I'm trying to figure out if I should block. I think I end up having... I think this might be the last one. Yeah, so I'm at 14. I wasn't really expecting 10 damage. Maybe it was telegraphed and I'm just not playing against Dash often enough. I don't want to take 2. I don't want to just take 8 there, so I might as well take the 10. It does put me in the range of the pistol, so yeah, maybe this game would have played out completely different had he played his pistol every turn that he should have, or just taken an extra hit and not kept cards in his hand. Again, I don't know what he had. Maybe he was drawing items, but I also am not paying attention to what he's pitching that much. So there's some inexperience on my side. So maybe there's some obvious reasons why he wasn't taking advantage of some of the hits, but I do think he could have at least come in once or twice with the pistol over the course of the game, and that would have a pretty significant effect on the game, given that I'm at 4 life. Yeah, so he's coming in for 4. I think every time there's a 4 damage and I have a defense reaction, I'll just take a peek. Again, I think I still have 8 cards. I think I'm gonna bottom this, and then I have 9 cards, so it's another way of kind of getting through the deck a little bit quicker. I'm not sure if he immediately does something. He plays a high octane here. I'm not really sure why. It just seems like a weird play. He could have arsenaled it and had like a really nice next turn. Again, this might just mean that he's new. He also is playing deep blue over the Teklo Heart. So again, but this is more about how I'm playing Kano. Hopefully, it's not. I'm not making too many mistakes on my side, but I think there's a reasonable approach here, and I'm starting to get enough discipline and make sure I'm at least trying to do the right thing. I take a damage because I'm gonna gain that life back with the extra card off the tome. So I am at 3. So yeah, let's gain 4 life, and I want to try to speed through the deck a little bit. So we'll try to get there. And I think I get a little lucky. I hit an energy potion and a lesson in lava. So yeah, no complaints. Yeah, and I even get the gaze. So that's quite nice. And that looks pretty good. I would like to kind of get another card to the bottom if I can. So I'm just gonna put the sink and the gaze on top. I was initially gonna put it on the bottom, but I realized that I can opt down the card after the sink below instead. So that'll like kind of get me through it a little bit quicker. And yeah, I'll bottom that. So now I'm at 10. And I'll leave that on top because it seems fine to block there. No thanks. So we have 10 cards on the bottom, and I'm not going to ruin that. Then I have 5 more. So that's 15. And I'll arsenal the Gaze to Ages. And this hand is pretty heavy blocking. It also has the 3rd Wildfire. So I have 8 cards. Right? 8 cards left to get to my stack. So I'd like to keep the Wildfire. Maybe put in Arsenal. He's coming in for 4. So I'm just going to use defense reaction here. I bottom a card, so now I'm at 16. He's coming in for 3, so I'm not sure what I do here. Maybe I block with the zap. And he plays a core, so there could be potentially a very big turn after this. I'm not sure why he used that. Just to add a counter on the pistol, it's probably not an optimal play. So I have 16. That was, yeah. So let's just bottom them both. We'll go 17, 18. 17, 18. So there's 5 cards left. I draw 3 of them. So 2 cards, and I should be back to my deck. It's pretty strong here, having the Wildfire and the Blazing Aether, because this way I can arsenal 1 and keep the other red in my hand, so that way I can swap for the eye. Just skip ahead a little bit. I think there was one point in the game where I was waiting a little while for him to action. Yeah, he probably stepped away from the computer for a second. Yeah, okay. So I'm just taking a look at what I have here. And yeah, I don't really have. I think I want to check how many defense reactions I had left just to make sure I didn't make any major blunders. I'm a little worried maybe about a big turn from him. But again, now he hadn't played that high octane turn. He used this accelerator. He's not playing with Tekla Heart. So there's a lot of things going easy for me here, and I don't even know if this was in a competitive game or not. Yeah. So let's just go to where he's attacking. Yeah. So he comes in. I'm going to opt. And I see there's a blue, so yeah, let's put that right on the bottom. I guess I could have kept that so that way I can get an easy banishing the tome off the top. But I think at this point I have the potion of deja vu, so it's quite clear I can even fumble around a little bit. So I think this has dominate, yeah. So I'll block with one card. This will allow me to draw, yeah, some more cards. And I'm still, I've got enough health. So yeah, I'm just gonna take a peek. Snapback is probably the last card that I haven't seen. So I'm pretty sure this is the pitch stack now, and yeah, here it is. And I know what the sequence is. I think it's pretty academic at this point. And I haven't seen any Oasis, but this should cover it quite well. He comes in for 3, so I've no threat there. I know I'm gonna combo off anyway, so let's just wait for him to use some more resources. So you can see the timestamp is almost done here. I'm gonna use the Deja Vu, so I'm gonna get 2 Kano triggers. I'll just put those back on top. This way I should get the tome. I'll draw the 2, and then I'll banish the wildfire that came after it. Then I can banish again the blazing aether. Okay, and I know I have the Eye of Ophidia on the top, so I'll swap the wildfire with the eye and leave that on top. And now I can just kind of go through the motion, so I'll get a bunch of resources. And maybe there's a more optimal way to sequence the damage here in case he has Oasis, but yeah, I felt okay as I hadn't seen any of it before. So the first one hits for, it's coming for 6. I think he does AB some of it, but he does have AB3 instead of AB4 now. He only took 2, so probably not ideal. Yeah, we'll just keep pumping these, and you can see there was just these 2 blues right afterwards, as we had expected. I could have, yeah, as we said before, like the tome. I could have had a tome. I could have had another wildfire. There could have been a lot of things that I wanted to do there, but I don't think there's a need. I left a resource left for the Storm Striders, but we are coming in for 22. So if for some reason he was able to stop that, then I could have come in with another blazing. If you have any questions, just put some comments in, and I'll see if I can answer them. Thanks.